The information I'm going to be providing to you is for a typical case. Procedure, pleadings, order of discovery, and types of discovery can vary from case to case. Discovery usually does not begin until after the pleadings are closed. Pleadings are closed when there are no more responsive pleadings to be filed. This more often than not means that a complaint and answer have been filed and there are no more pleadings. Discovery consists largely of interrogatories, requests for production of documents and things and entry upon land, depositions, independent medical examinations, otherwise known as IMEs, and admissions. Although rules of civil procedure usually address the request for production of documents and things and entry upon land under a single rule, this demand is usually conducted as two separate discovery requests. The pleadings provide the framework for the litigation. They describe the issues and the sources of contention. And discovery is aimed at determining the details of those issues by obtaining information from opposing parties, witnesses, and anyone else that might have information relevant to the case. With the basics of the case established through the pleadings, the parties are then able to engage in discovery, always keeping in mind that discovery must be related to proving or defending the claims and defenses established by the pleadings. Parties usually begin discovery with the most basic of discovery methods: interrogatories and requests for production of documents and things. Both of these means of discovery require one party to serve written documents upon the opposing party, which in turn are to be responded to in writing. Questions are asked in writing by one party and answered in writing by the other party. Documents are demanded in writing by one party, and the other party responds in writing that those documents will or will not be provided. There is no follow-up beyond the initial interrogatories or requests. Follow-up comes about through depositions, during which time the parties will have the opportunity to delve into answers to interrogatories and responses to requests for production of documents. All states have rules concerning the formatting of interrogatories and requests for production of documents. Some states require interrogatories to be spaced so that an answer can be written below the question. Other states and the federal government require answers to interrogatories to be a separate document. Accordingly, in these states, the interrogatories themselves need not provide any space for an answer. Like requests for production, interrogatories are formatted in consecutively numbered paragraphs, and the response is a separate document which addresses in consecutively numbered paragraphs each of the interrogatories. Most lawyers have canned discovery. That is, they will use a standard set of interrogatories and requests for production of documents for particular types of cases. For example, there will be standard interrogatories and requests for production of documents in motor vehicle cases, and there will be a standard set of interrogatories and requests for production in breach of contract cases, and so on and so forth. Some states or counties have a specific set of interrogatories which are to be used in specified types of cases. For example, it is not unusual for a county to have interrogatories to be used in a medical malpractice case. Once you determine which interrogatories and requests for production are to be used, it is a simple matter of preparing them. You already have the caption of a case since you prepared the pleadings, so all you need to do is cut and paste. Simply copy the caption onto the canned discovery forms. You should also prepare a separate certificate of service for the interrogatories and the requests. Since the discovery itself is not filed with the court, the certificates, which are filed, are a record of service with the court. The certificates, being filed separately, must therefore include the caption of the case. The discovery is usually mailed to the opposing counsel, and responses must be served within the timelines established by the rules. Responses are usually mailed back to the opposing counsel. The certificates of service for the responses are filed. The actual responses themselves are not. In responding to requests for production, the standard practice is to attach copies of the requested documents that are in the party's possession. If the party does not have the requested documents, the party says so in his response. Arizona has uniform interrogatories which may be used in personal injury actions. Notice that I said they may be used. These interrogatories are located in Form 5 of Rule 84 of the Rules of Civil Procedure. Arizona Rules 33 and 33.1 govern how interrogatories are to be prepared, served on opposing parties, and answered. You must read these rules and Rule 84, Form 5. There is a special procedure that is to be used with uniform interrogatories, which does not involve the actual service of the interrogatories upon opposing parties. Instead, opposing parties are merely referred to the uniform interrogatories, and there is a specific reference to those interrogatories which are to be answered. The answering party reproduces the text of the uniform interrogatory and inserts the answer below it. For our purposes, and so you can get some practice, we're going to pretend that Arizona does not have the special procedure for uniform interrogatories. Instead, we are going to serve the defendant in the Stearns case, who is represented by Jonathan Brutus of Cassius and Brutus, with Arizona's uniform interrogatories. And we're going to pretend that is, that we have created these interrogatories from scratch. There you have it. Now go to it. Request for documents. Follow up.